choked up again. I'm steady looking for change. I'm living large upon that highway.
So you, do you feel like brass piqued your interest because of what you found out about your mother? Or was it just something?
I think it was more just when I, back when I was in high school, the popular music was, you know, the R&B and the hip hop. You know, so that's DMX, that's Drew Hill, there's,
Sure.
you know, these artists of the time, Aaliyah, right? That's the stuff always in my ear every single day in the city of New Orleans.
Sure.
It's when I was doing some looking around, because, you know, New Orleans is still known for jazz and all that. And it happened to cross my attention that the best-selling albums in the city, because I was like, why people keep talking about this jazz and blues and stuff? I mean, what's the best-selling album even in the city? And I found out that it was still blues, R&B. No, it was blues, jazz, and then R&B, rap. I'm like, that's curious.
Right. And this was in a local context or national?
Local context.
Okay.
So in the context of New Orleans,
Yeah.
it was just the best-selling album in the city
Gotcha.
of New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was not rap. It was not R&B. That may be what the locals were listening to a lot of.
Sure.
But the sales, what was driving record sales, what was selling was the blues and the jazz. That's the stuff that sells most.
There's a whole subculture that's
Exactly.
holds it up, you know?
Yeah. But also when people come in, they buy it, you know, the tourists and all that buy it. But then I was like, I'm from New Orleans, and I know very little about this. Something's wrong with that. That's why I picked it up.
Yeah.
No other reason.
Well, it's
No other
curious
reason.
though, because you're still talking about what, like 16 years old, 15. You don't normally see a 15 or 16-year-old look for local relevance or context because they're flooded with top 40. They're flooded with whatever's getting the most views.
The Britney
or
Spears of the
listens.
times.
Right. And it's so prominent, it's everywhere that, like you're saying, you have to go look for what you're talking about.
To go
You
look
know?
for it. And I had to look for it.
Yeah.
Now, once I found it, of course, New Orleans being what it is, the community is there.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that I thought I needed to be, being a New Orleans native, that I needed to somehow carry some of that, you know.
Like
that
a social
history.
responsibility.
Yeah, some of that. And not let just people coming in from everywhere do it for us. You know,
Sure.
that I should do some of it.
Yeah.
And nobody told me that. I just figured that on my own.
Yeah.
And then later on I would hear, you know, jazz people talk about it and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I came to that
Well, like we said,
conclusion before.
there's a whole subculture, if you want to call it that, that supports it. It's like finding a whole new room in the house or something. You know what I mean? Fascinating. But so you're in the midst. So when you pick up the saxophone, you're in the midst of 20 other different things scholastically.
Yeah.
How did you manage to juggle that? And was it okay at first, or was it really hard?
I had the benefit of a really good band. It was a small band. I went to Frederick Douglass High School,
Okay.
3820 St. Claude Avenue. Still there. It's a KIPP school now. It's KIPP at Douglass. Lindsey Jackson was our band director. And at this time, this was, I guess, before the great decline of bands in the city.
Sure.
So this is pre-Katrina. You know, 2001 to 2005 is when I went there. So this is 2003, I think I joined the band. So my 11th grade year, 10th grade year, I don't remember. Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
I joined the band, and Lindsey Jackson was the band director, and I just loved the music we was playing. Like, we were doing things like Never Too Much, Luther Vandross. We were doing things like we would take some of the top 40. I remember doing Mary J. Blige's 911. Loved that version we did.
Yeah.
And then we would do like Let It Whip.
Yeah.
Like,
So they
good
kept it
music.
interesting. Yeah, they kept it really interesting.
I was playing whole notes for the most part. But it piqued my interest enough that I stayed with it for about 2 years in school.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, it was enough that I dropped some other stuff to
Did
do
you?
more band.
Yeah, okay. So the
For a
music
time
bug
period.
was full on at that point.
And then, because I was quickly made section leader,
Nice.
but soon after that, you know, parade, marching season, and all this other stuff, I got frustrated with my bandmates, with my section in particular, because I was always trying to get, whatever I do, I try to get better at that.
Sure.
Right? And my section was not of that same ilk. They were not of the, let's work to get better. Because I would tell them things like, yo, we need to play together because we're not going to be heard over them trumpets. There's like 20 of them.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 of us.
Yeah.
We got to play together.
Right.
You know, hey, your setup is not right. And they would just give me talk back and push back all the time. I was like, oh, why am I section leader?
Wasn't a
So
common goal.
eventually I left it. But I always wanted to get back to playing. So first year of college, I got back to playing.
Did you?
Yes. First year of college.
Oh, how
back
long
to
of a
playing.
hiatus was that?
About a year and a couple months.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get back because I enjoyed it.
Sure.
Even though I was mostly playing whole notes.
Yeah.
Because I was
Well,
learning. I
you
was
were learning, right.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
learning.
But that's cool that they were picking tunes that kind of made it appealing to kids.
It was a combination of the old and the new.
Well, as opposed to marching band standards or something.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we're talking New Orleans. We
Right.
don't do the marching band standard.
Right.
I didn't play a Southern march until I got into my 4th year of college.
Well, congratulations, man. That's what kept you going, I think. You know. Yeah.
This almost, I don't know what it is now exactly. I know Miss Muhammad at not Warren Easton, at what's that school on Canal Street? At Easton. No,
I think so.
that's Easton, right? Yeah, the school on Canal Street, Warren Easton. She wouldn't be playing that.
Right.
She knows of it, but she's not about to have her students play that. They're gonna play something from Southern or something.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna play.
That's cool.
Because that's just not what we do in New Orleans. We don't play music in New Orleans really for ceremonial purposes. It's for the enjoyment of the music.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So you want something groovy. You want something you can
It's got a
groove
swing.
to.
It's got it, yeah.
That has a swing. You want something that kids can easily learn by ear because, you know, unfortunately we're not really teaching reading skills as in-depthly as we should.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's more about the feeling than the, you know,
I get it.
right
Yeah.
note. It's more about the feeling.